Greetings, crafters, and welcome to episode 150 of Better Than Wolves with TKush35. It's been a wee bit since I've done a recording, since I have been out of town, but before today's episode, I did a little work off camera. So as you'll see here, I sort of leveled this out, got rid of some of the water, and if we come down here, we'll see that I, dug out a nice long hallway. What could it be for, you might ask? That is the goal of today's episode, is to take these goodies that have been slowly trickling in, and look at that, I've got some iron, free iron, so delicious. I want to sort these goodies, because eventually when this tower is huge, or whenever I'm away, obviously stashing it all in a bunch of localized chests isn't gonna do. So what I want to try is to duplicate the sorting system, well, the relatively rudimentary sorting system that I had in my old offline world, which got it down to a fairly decent division, if you will. So that's going to be today's goal. As you can see, I've already crafted 11 hoppers, because that's what the old system uses. Now, I don't have a good way of showing you all my plans for this, so it's kind of going to be sort of a show the plans as we go sort of thing, but what I'm thinking is, oh, that's still going. Oh boy, let's go turn that off quick so I'm not interrupted. Okay, got it. I think it's getting close to being done. Got a lot of coal in there, yeah, almost running out of netherrack. But plenty of stuff ground up, ready for, I think I did make a whole bunch of, yeah, I made some more fired pottery, been automating that, which is fantastic. It's just been slowly churning away. We've got some urns that I'll eventually put in here, and it's just fantastic to have these machines. But anyway, what I need for this system, first of all, is I need some soul sand to filter out the experience orbs. Easy enough, understandable enough. Then the next is a wicker pane. Now, wicker panes should filter out objects that, one moment, objects that are powdery. So powdery objects will fall through the wicker pane, and not powdery objects will gloss over it. So in this case, that's going to filter out niter. Now I need to make a wicker pane, which is a bit of wicker and a grate. And let's see, wicker weaving, which is a bunch of sugarcane. Oh, yeah, that's a new mechanic that I haven't done yet. I should have some sugarcane. So I think that's just the same as regular weaving, right? You just sit there and, yep, just kind of weave it together to make a wicker. Cool. Yeah, I haven't had to do this before, and certainly haven't on camera. It's a bit tedious, kind of like knitting. But it has a progress bar and all that. So I'll finish that in a hot minute. But let's make a grate, which is a bunch of string and shafts. I keep forgetting where I need to go, so there's that. And then I should have some string. Yes, because I don't have a good or a decent income of hemp fibers yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the string that I had stockpiled. So that will make a wicker pane. Now, I'm going to need only one of those. And then I need some slats for the next one. Slats. That's just a bunch of molding. Convenient. I have some of that. And slats filter out string and scrolls. And then I need grates. 2 of them. Oh, which, yeah, I just need two more grates. And the reason I have 2 is because this particular build takes advantage of the buoyancy of different items. And so the first, I have 2 grates lined up, in the whole shebang. The first one filters out spider eyes and slime balls, which in this particular mob trap I won't have slime balls, so just spider eyes. And then the second grate filters out witchworts and creepers. Again, won't need to worry about witchworts because I'm not in the swamp, which is unfortunate, but, you know, I can always duplicate this later. And then I next need a trap door to filter out bones and arrows, and my previous build of this did not worry about trying to separate those two. I just did it by hand, and we're just going to continue that here since it's not crazy. I'm not going to get a crazy amount of drops until significantly later on in the build. Now, I did pull aside these fences because I was going to re-fence the area upstairs for the animals, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. So then the next is 2 sets of iron bars. The first iron bars filter out filled potions, and the second empty potions and rotten flesh. Now, I actually shouldn't need that since, again, I don't have witches. So then I'll just need 1 set of iron bars here. And then the last filter is a pair of ladders, which I should be able to build with these shafts and string. The first ladder filters out... Shoot, I did not have enough. First ladder filters out armor, and then the second filters out bows because bows will float farther. Okay, that's more ladders than I need, but that's alright. And then the last one's empty. So, aside from this wicker weaving, that should be everything that I need for the filters. So I will be back in a hot second. Phew, that was strenuous. Alright, so now this should make wicker pane. And this should filter all of the objects that I have coming through here. So, let's head back over this way, and we're just going to make some super rudimentary water flow to filter this stuff out. In the other build that I had the items filtering through and then water to move them down below. Not going to worry about that today because, surprise, surprise, I don't have the space. So we're just going to go ahead and have this one. Let's see. So I need to bump this out so the XP can be here going this way. This is going to get a little dicey-ish. No, that's fine. Also don't have a Vessel of the Dragon, so the experience isn't going to matter too much. I notably don't have the inventory space to maintain this right now. So let's, since the empty one will just have a bunch of crap in it anyway, let's just throw this all in there. I should have emptied out my inventory a little more before doing this, but it's fine. So let's just choppy that all up. That'll be good to go. We'll use wood as the framework so that stuff doesn't spawn on it, and I don't have to worry about gravity. And so the first hopper needs to go here, and that is the experience. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we have those filtering. Obviously I'm going to need to power all of this, and it gets a little weird. Maybe I should actually bring this farther away instead of trying to cram it right here. Yeah, that's probably a better idea. Because then I don't have to worry about space for powering it. And the key of this is that I just go down as I need more space. So we'll just continue this water flow this way, and it's good to go. So then the key to this is that this is the one right there, and then I had the... And some of this is very dependent on the spacing between all of the water blocks. So forgive me if I do a little back and forth on where things need to be. I'll also probably eventually need to move that ladder. So I had soul sand here with a path going this way for the experience. Obviously we're not going to quite do that. I will eventually turn this into glass because I like to be able to watch the items go through. But for now, we're just going to do it like that and then cover it with wood. And that'll be fine. And I'll just knock some of this out so we can see all of the spaces that'll be down here. Okay, so then... Oh, did I need that one more? Yeah, because I need the drop. Okay, so this needs to be one further, actually. One further back. Because the dropping, where the items drop, needs to be pretty specific. Okay. So I've got that there, and then we'll fill this block. So we have soul sand, block, and then a drop down to continue the water stream. And then one more block, and then that is right here where we have the first filter, this one using the wicker pane. Excellent. And we'll find out relatively shortly, a couple nights worth, as to whether or not this filtering system is working as intended. Obviously nothing has power right now, so the filtered items should just go into the hoppers, which is actually quite ideal. And this should be at a height that the experience orbs filter through, provided there's power to it. Okay, so there's the wicker pane, and then we have 1, 2, and then another filter, this one with the slats. So that's, again, for the string and scrolls. Then 1 block, and then a 2 block drop. Not quite sure why I made it drop 2. It might have been some spacing constraints, but I'm just going to follow it in case that it was important. It's probably actually for water height management, which makes a little more sense now that I say it out loud. So we're going to roll with that, and obviously this ends up being a lot deeper than I might have anticipated, so I might need to move my light sources, carve things out a wee bit more, but I can, of course, do all of the carving off camera or in speed time sort of thing, just do a fun cleanup. Again, just dumping this random stuff off. Trying to keep my inventory as open as possible. So that was a customer. Do they have an item? Not sure. Oh, I guess that could have been a vine trap. I could have been close enough to be... that could have been a vine trap. Anyway, so there's 1 block drop, right? Yeah, but we want a 2 block drop. We're going to go ahead and use torches because it doesn't quite matter right this instant. And let's see, where's the drop? Right here? Yeah, we want to make sure that that specifically drops 2 blocks. There we go. Yeah, and that's where the water height management is a lot more important. So then there's 1 block after that, and then a grate is in this bad boy. And then 1, 2, 3 blocks later, we have the other grate, which will be filtering out creeper oysters. And as you can see, water-based filtering is a bit of a pain. Well, specifically buoyancy-based. And this was based on testing that I did years ago at this point. Probably, let's see, I started this world more than just over a year ago. And that Arietes world, that was the name of the solo world that I was playing. I'd honestly have to look it up to see how old that was. But it was definitely a long-going thing. So there's great, and then the next block is us going down. And then another 3-block space. So that's down 1, 2, 3. And this one is the trapdoor for the bones and arrows. And then we get into some sorting that we don't need to do in this particular build, which is the iron bars. Oh, except for the rotten flesh. So that must be a buoyancy thing. Because the filled potions would be heavier than the regular potions and the rotten flesh, which makes a lot of sense. So I can probably skip the first iron bar, but then I need to make sure that my second iron bar is correctly positioned, so I might as well just put it in the same place that I would. So this is the trapdoor. After the trapdoor, we have 1, 2, and then go down. And all of these drops are to make sure that I have the correct height of water required for buoyancy separation. Now, is it perhaps a little less efficient to do it this way? Maybe, but as far as I could tell and remember from my old build, this is more, I don't want to say more resource efficient, but with basic technology and not wanting to use a whole lot of gearboxes, this was pretty simple in my opinion. So we had 1, 2 drop down, and then 1 more, and then the first iron bar filter, which I'm just going to use, and in theory it'll never be populated with anything. And are we opening up into a cave? Yes, we are. Which makes sense with all the bat noises and stuff. Oh, regular spider. It should be fine. Come here. How about you? I didn't want you to come at my face. But this will be good to light this up. Oh, God. Alright. Oh, a third one. Jesus. Jeepers. Die. I don't want you. Oh, we can use these drops to test the filtering, which will be excellent. Oh, okay, good. Oh, good golly. There's an army of the bastards. Can you tell I'm trying to not swear? Just trying to be a little cleaner in my language for the public. Alright, so that should get rid of spawns in this area, which is much needed since it's so close to the mob tower. Okay, where were we? This was the first iron bar, yes? Okay, so then we need 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And then at this 4th one, we will have the next iron bars. And then we're almost home free. Obviously, there's a lot of height loss, and so jumping is ill-advised. But in my other world, I just had, you know, a whole bunch of stuff stored at the bottom, and I had a ladder system that took me all the way down. Ooh, a new bow. That'll do nicely. Okay. Just put a couple more items in there. Alright, moving on down. So, need a new light source here-ish. And this was the second iron bars, yes. So then we need 2 with ladders to separate the armor and bows, which I had just going straight into a crucible and a cauldron, respectively, so that it would melt those down. Obviously, one could do it slightly differently. Okay, so... oh, that was an immediate drop after that second iron bars. Okay, so there's the drop. And then 1 right here was for armor because that sinks. Well, armor, weapons, etc., etc. And then 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. And a filter with a ladder for bows. And then down again right after that. Yeah, I think that, and that was just a space constraint. And making sure that the water source kept flowing, because the final hopper, which is the one that I am using back up there, is just for heads and any other blocks that fell down while I was building this entire contraption. So there's the down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the final filter or hopper is down there. So then the idea behind this entire system will be to have the hoppers powered into some sort of storage facility or some sort of processing. So for example, the crucible would be melting down all of the armor and whatnot. That way, when I'm coming to fetch it, it's just the... yeah, I would like that back, please. Thank you. Then it's just iron that I'm having to fetch, and the inventory isn't going to stock up as quickly. So now we can do a test with these creeper oysters and check that they're in 1, 2, 3, the 4th one. Oh, and we have an actual customer over here, so string, excellent. So let's toss in those creeper oysters. Heck, I can toss in a bow and some niter too. Check that those go in the right places. Hooray! And I could even go over to my mob drops and check that as well. So the niter should go to the first hopper, which is somewhere around here, right? I should probably put up signs. That would be helpful. Yeah, signs would be great. Okay, the wicker pane. Where'd the niter go? The niter should have been in this wicker pane. Ooh, unless all of these rules changed. Well, the string went in the right spot, so that's a good sign. The creeper oysters should be in this second one over here. Awesome. And the bow should be farther down. Do I have any arrows on me? No. So there's the first iron bars. So the bow should be in here. Did the bow not go in there? Well, it's not in my inventory. Maybe it got caught somewhere. Ah, that's almost annoying. Well, the bow's not down here yet. Oh, did my pick just go in one of these? Yeah, it did. Haha. Well, the pick went in the right spot. I need to go get another hopper. So let's go do that quick. Because this one's full. Oh, yes, I have some objects in here that I can test with? Rotten flesh, bones, arrows. Okay, so rotten flesh, some weapons, bows, bat wings. That's not going to be something coming in. Arrows. Alright, the niter will come back for. Ooh, blood moon. I want to rein in some of this territory here. I just don't know how to build that quite yet. Alright, so we're going for another hopper, or just grab a chest. A chest would probably be a good idea. Oh, also off camera, the tallow finished processing, so I can make a decent number of candles. While I'm distracted, let's do that right now. Because candles are awesome. And quite necessary. So there's a stack of 64 candles. Most excellent. We'll use those somewhere that we need to care about that. I guess just make a chest. I'll make 2 chests. That'll be fine. Alright, let's head back in there. We can go get the hopper. And then, ooh, I should grab some of the other items that need testing. I don't have any scrolls over here, I don't think. Or do I? No. Well, I do have full potions. I kept those, right? The iron bars? Iron bars should have caught the flesh. Well, yeah, I can test that the potions go in the right spot. I don't think it'll ever be a concern in this particular instance, but we can test that they still work that way. What else? Ooh, slime balls. Which, again, I won't have, but that'll be fine. Where's all my niter? There's some more. What else was on this list? Spider eyes. I think that's it. I think that's everything. Oh, and witchworts, right? But again, won't have those in this particular mob trap because it's not in a swamp. I might eventually build over there. We'll see. All right, let's go down into the end game area here. Don't mind the mess. I think this should be safe from that torch. Let's just put the torch up higher to be doubly sure. We'll just cram all that in there. Don't even worry about it. Alright, then we put this hopper down at the end just to be sure that there's a catch-all. Gonna hop in there. Okay, there's nothing in there, so the bow must have gone somewhere else. But, oh, I should have brought signs. So there's the second ladder, which should have the bow, supposedly. Oh no, the bow went in here? The bow should float. I wonder if the... Is this too close? It is technically too close by 1 block. So it could be that the water flow pushed it down too much. Yeah. Oh, nope. Now it bounced over. Did it go in the correct one that time? It did not. Okay, so this could be too close, which would be throwing stuff off. Because this is the second iron bars, which correctly has flesh in it. And there should be a drop, and then a space, and then the ladder. Okay, so I need to redo this a little bit. That's fine. The items I have in my inventory should be filtered out before this. So let's go ahead and toss them out here so that we can test the sorting system. There. And those will all go through processing. We'll just call this processing because that's fun. And while that's happening, I need to rip this up and move it over, all by a space or 3. So there's the one, so there's the drop, then the one, then the first ladder filter. And then I need, oh wow, yeah, I severely messed this part up. Might be because there was water around. Okay, I don't care about you. Okay, so then this needs to be 1, 2, 3, and then the ladder. Okay, so then after that ladder is the drop, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th one is the empty hopper. Okay, so in theory that will fix that up, and that should be filtering correctly. Okay. Shall we try this again? I think so. So, ooh, plump. That's no good. So, there's some weapons and a bow. Now, this is iron bars with potion. Iron bars with, ooh, glass bottle and rotten flesh. Excellent. Like I've been saying, those items won't end up in this system, but on the off chance that I somehow integrate another mob trap into this one or something of that ilk, that'll be pretty sweet. And you can see that the bow popped up there, as it should, after the water flow fell down. See, these items still, they don't float. Weapons and armor will go here, and then the bow, once it is stopped, once it's not being brought under by the undertow of the water flow, it pops back up because of its buoyancy, and then it lands into this one, which is precisely what I was hoping for. So now that that's working, we can check the rest of these bad boys, and they should have mostly the items that I was expecting. So here's rotten arrows and bones. A person can use a bellows to separate them eventually, and I had plans to in my old world and just never got around to it. Here's creeper oysters, which would also have witch warts. And then this one has, yep, spider eyes and slime balls. We've got the double drop here, and this one should have string and will also have scrolls in it when I eventually get some. And this has all my niter. Perfect! So that is our rudimentary sorting system. So then we just have to get power to it, and then I can, you know, rip this out some more and do processing of the items down there. For now, it'll probably just be storage, so first concern will be to get, you know, a lot of gearboxes and axles and just get power to these and chests underneath them. But that is not really necessary to do on camera, so I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.